Good morning and welcome to episode number 11 of Crypto Empire Morning Domination. I am your host Connor from Crypto Empire, and this is where we dominate the crypto market. I do want to welcome everybody to today's live stream. We do already have a few guests in attendance today, but I don't want to waste any time. So we're going to hop right into our crypto market overview and get into today's scheduled programming content. So taking a look right now at the overall market cap, we have Bitcoin trading at $20,400. Really, it's been in no man's land the past few days, waiting to pick a direction. So we're going to take a look at the chart, and I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on the recent price action and what I am waiting for in order to have a valid trade setup. We also have Ethereum trading at $1,093. Then we have our usual top 10 cryptocurrencies. Nothing really has changed too much. We do have Polygon MATIC up 17% on the day, currently falling a bit from the 50% resistance level. Taking a look at today's top gainers, we have Evmos trading at $2.11, up 22.5% on the day. Then we have MATIC. Then we have Cosmos Atom up 12.4% on the day. And then Tencent. All right, Tencent is the Launchpad project, right? I've covered them before. They are now number 70 in market cap. So that shows you they have very strong holders, up 6.1% on the day. So interesting to see that from Tencent, right? Climbing up in market cap as a lot of other projects are falling. All that goes to show you is that the people that hold that coin aren't selling it. They aren't capitulating like a lot of the other altcoins on the market. So very interesting to see that there. Now, taking a look at today's top losers as well, we have SNX, Synthetics Network, down 7.5%. We have Waves down 5.9%. We have Radix down 5%. So a lot of losers today in single digits, but really everything has been going sideways because Bitcoin has also been going sideways in about a less than 2,000 point spread. So let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the chart so that we can go over the Bitcoin price action. I can show you the opportunities that I am looking at. And by the way, we do have Emlyn saying, what's up, Emlyn, how are you? And we got All Day Dre with us in the live chat saying, welcome to Crypto Empire. Absolutely. If you're just tuning in right now, go ahead and smash up that like button. Get some hype in the chat. Boost up the YouTube algorithm. Helps grow the channel. And of course, I do appreciate all of your support. Let's go ahead and move on to our Bitcoin technical analysis for the day and get right into it, starting things off on the 1 hour price chart. Actually, let's start off on the 4 hour, then work our way lower. So on the 4 hour chart, as you can see, if we take a date measurement, we really haven't done much since the 19th, the 20th. The 19th, which was 4 days ago now, so around Monday. We've been going sideways all week since Monday. The low being around 19,600 with the high being at around 21,600. That's about a 2,000 point spread that we have been trading sideways in, really. As you can see, we do have some key trend lines. We did have this trend line here from 23,400, obviously connecting these highs. We do have a bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. Right, you can't deny that. With our left shoulder having the highest volumes, that's what we like to see. Then we have our head, and then we have our right shoulder just kind of forming now. This is our neckline, this trend line here. Okay, so we could possibly break this trend line and go for a run up higher to either test this local high over here at around 22K, 21,800, or we can get to that big supply zone that I was highlighting yesterday in yesterday's live stream, coming into play around $22,800. All right, so this is definitely something to look out for. This trend line here, we have to see what the market makers, what price action does want to do here. But really, we're still going sideways right now. Obviously, we're decreasing a little bit, coming towards the bottom end of our range. And with that being said, this support has been holding at 19,850. All right, all wicks have been bought up down here, and we're seeing a push back up higher to 20,800. So very narrow, kind of untradeable range for me, at least. If you're a very short-term scalper, then you'll be in this. But I look for bigger moves than this tight spread here. So I haven't really been trading too actively the past day or so, waiting for better things to present themselves, really. Then we do have this lower trend line connecting this upward slanting, these higher lows here, right? We have lows, higher lows, and this trend line just connecting these higher lows was broken through, but it was quickly reclaimed this morning. Now we're going back to retest it as support here once again. All right, so we are kind of coiling up here, and we are soon to be in an apex after this coiling up, and we're going to have a breakout. All right, so big move is coming here. We're going to find out the direction that price does want to trade in. My plan does remain the same, where I am looking for shorts on a push up higher. That is my personal trading plan. Everybody may look at this differently, but me personally, I am looking to short the market on a push up higher here. All right, first of all, we have the big level from over here on the 21st, which was 2 days ago now. We have the wick up right into a supply zone at $21,700, right? This is the first level where you're going to be looking to short right here in this supply zone. If it doesn't hold, you have a tight stop loss, so you take a very small loss if you're wrong. That's risk management 101 right there. But if we're wrong, and if this first supply zone doesn't hold, then we're going to look to short the higher one just here at 22,800, all right? Very simple, straightforward trading plan. Nothing magical here, no crystal balls. Just kind of looking at the support and resistance supply and demand zones and taking our plays from there. Now, if we actually end up losing support here, right, well then a test of around 19K to 18,600 I would say is inevitable. So that's where I would be looking for a possible scalp long if we do actually lose support down here. Probability wise, I do think we will push up most likely higher to these supply zones first, but of course that's up in the air. We're waiting to see, and honestly I am expecting price to continue to coil up and go sideways here. Not expecting that big breakout yet. All right, we are waiting patiently for it to happen. But this is your Bitcoin TA right now on the 4-hour chart. If we drop this down to a 1 hour and get a better picture of the price action with some more candlesticks, some more data, and you can see the support down here at 19,850 more clearly. See how well it has been holding up, and then up here as well with our supply zone. A bit of a drop-based drop up here. A lot of liquidity up here at around 21,750, 21,800. Then of course the big zone up here at 22,800 as well. So that's Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and catch up with the live chat, see what's going on. We do have Jazzy with us this morning saying, good morning, Crypto Empire. Let's get it. Let's get it, Jazzy. Good to see you here in the live chat. We got Emlyn saying he's doing fine. He got a good short on ApeCoin. Nice. I haven't even been checking out ApeCoin recently. We got On God saying, good morning, Empire. Let's hit some trades today. Absolutely, On God. We are waiting, and we will hit them. And we also have Lotu saying this is going to be the fastest growing of the market ever. I got this crypto. Not sure what you're referring to there, but I do believe that crypto is a asset class that is exponentially growing, and I feel very comfortable holding the crypto that I do have right now, and I will be looking to add more over the coming months during this bear market. So not sure what you're referring to there, but I do agree with you to an extent. We also have Reverend Flashback saying, hi, Emperor Connor. What is up, Reverend Flashback? Good to see you here in the live chat. Lotu saying, again, it's going to level out at least 2 more times or 3 more times before Bitcoins is up for the week. Check on it. Interesting there. Good prediction. Very interesting. And we got Naveen saying, hello, Crypto Empire. What's going on, Naveen? Good to see you here. All right, with that, let's go ahead and check out Ethereum as well. Ethereum kind of trading in tandem with Bitcoin at the current moment in time. As you can see, Ethereum also has this descending trend line with this inverse head and shoulders chart pattern set up, right? With your left shoulder over here, your head, and then your right shoulder with our descending neckline. That is what we want to see for an inverse head and shoulders. So very similar price action here to BTC. And we are waiting for ETH to go ahead and make a move as well. We can definitely go ahead and draw a descending trend line like this, whoever you want to draw your trend line. A bit of a coil up happening on ETH as well. And we are waiting to see, but it's the same song and dance here. We've been going sideways for the past 3-4 days since around Monday, with our high being at $1,021, or the low being at $1,021, and the high being at around 1200. Okay, so that's around $180 spread there. Not much. Not much. Really been chopping around sideways. So scalpers have at it on your very low time frame charts, but me personally, I'm waiting for a bigger overall move to go ahead and take some positions on here on Ethereum as well. And same thing with ETH, right? We do have this high over here at 1190, the $1,200 level. Then we do have the big level at 1250. That's where you're going to be looking for some juicy short trades up here. ETH has a ton of overhead resistance. As you can see, another drop-based drop supply zone up here at 1330 up to 1400. Okay, so a ton of areas of interest on Ethereum if we do end up getting a push up higher, which I do think is likely here. But we shall see. That is for sure. We shall definitely see. Now, also, while we're looking at these charts, before I get on to the next topic of conversation here in the episode number 11 of Crypto Empire Morning Domination, I do want to go ahead and take a look at some other metrics. We do have crude oil, all right? So crude oil going ahead and on the daily testing our trend line here. Right, as you can see, trying to hold on. Now, the reason why I'm showing you crude oil is because actually, in order for this market to bottom out, I do believe that oil has to have a big crash. All right, energy prices are crazy high right now. And I do want to show you, if we look at this chart going back to 2008. Going back to 2008, let's go to a monthly chart actually, while we're looking at this. Looking at the monthly chart of crude oil, this is energy prices, right? Energy prices have a major impact on inflation. Inflation is a huge problem right now for the world economy, not just the U.S. economy, but the entire world economy. Now, back in 08, crude oil was trading for $147 a barrel at its peak. Right now, it's trading at 105. Nonetheless, still very high at a multi-year resistance level here, going back to 2011 to 2013, 2014. Now, when oil prices are high, that makes the cost of goods and services for everything high as well. Over here in 08, we had that big housing market crisis, housing market crash, the subprime mortgage crisis, right? It tanked the entire economy, not just the housing market. But as you can see, in 08, crude oil crashed. It was overextended just as it is right now, and it went ahead and crashed 77%. Okay? Also, let's take a look at the S&P during this time. So let's get this date down. So over here, this was around June and July of 2008. If we look at the stock market of the S&P, the ES, we can also go ahead and see in June, July of 08, just over here, the market had already peaked a few months prior, okay? The stock market peaked before oil. The stock market peaked in October and September, right? And then by the time that oil started to crash, the stock market was already down around 20%, okay? If we look at current day, same kind of similar situation here is why I'm pointing this out to you. I thought this was very, very interesting, and it's a good indication of how things are going to be shaping up here. If we look at current day, we have the S&P down around 20%, okay? And oil, if we go back to crude oil, remember during the the pandemic crash when we went negative on crude? Crazy that happened. Crazy times 2 years ago. But now, as you can see, stock market already went ahead and crashed 20%, and oil showing some signs of weakness. If it loses this trend line, I would not be surprised to see it go for a nice doozy of a ride down. Okay, this was a good indication. Then after this, obviously, it recovered. That stock market recovered as well, or started its recovery. All right, so what we need to see here in order for inflation to slow down, in order for this recession to end, is we need to see crude oil crash. And we're looking for a crash of around 70 to 80%, just like last time. And that would take us to around the $34 per barrel level, right around where we were after the 08 crash. All right, so unless we have these energy prices drop down, this recession isn't going to end. The Fed will continue to raise interest rates. All of this is connected directly or indirectly to the cryptocurrency market, right? Because it still does trade like the NASDAQ, like a tech stock. So when oil goes ahead and crashes, that's going to be your good indication that, okay, the Fed can go ahead and start easing. They can start lowering rates. The worst of the recession is now over. But unless we see the big crash on oil, on energy prices getting reduced, energy prices are a major implication on the overall global economy, especially with inflation. So we need to see these energy prices go ahead and start crashing down in order for us to get bullish long-term on Bitcoin again. Right now, things are overextended. Gas is crazy expensive. Diesel fuel crazy expensive. So that means your trucks. Trucker Steve is here today watching this. Trucker Steve knows the price of diesel going through the roof. Everybody who drives a car knows the price of gas going through the roof. Cost of goods and services will continue to rise. Until that stops, the Fed will not be lowering rates. So we do have a few months, I would say, still of this crypto bear market. But yes, oil price is definitely very important to be watching here. If we do get the major crash, that is a good indication that the worst is possibly behind us for this bear market, and we can start looking for signs of recovery. I still do think it's going to take a few months to play out, so there's no reason to get jumpy and excited just yet. All right, we have time here. We have time here towards the bottom. I do think we can still go lower in Bitcoin and with crypto, but a good indication as well. Look at the VIX, look at oil, look at all these indicators, and when they all start to line up properly, that is when you know it's time to start loading, backing up the fiat truck and start to go heavy into the market once again. For now, though, it is still risk off. It is still time to preserve your capital, to not make any rash, crazy decisions, not start throwing, 5-6 figures at altcoins just yet. The time will come for that, but right now it is not that time, all right? So definitely very important to know that. And let's go ahead and catch up with the live chat as well after that small little segment on crude oil. Trucker Steve isn't here today. What's up, Steve? Saying just in time to jump in and smash that like button. I'll be listening to reply tonight while trucking. Shout out to Trucker Steve. We got Sniff as well saying, I hope we all get rich. Not rich to the point where we have to attend those eyes wide shut parties, but rich enough to not have to work 9 to 5. I like that goal, Sniff. If you stick to it and you play your cards correctly, you will achieve that goal. But yeah, I definitely, that's the plan here, right? So you don't have to go do something you don't want to do. Fortunately, I'm already in a position where I can, not have to work 9 to 5 because I, I took some crazy risks early on and they did pay off. But yeah, I feel you. Lotu saying, if you don't get any right now, you're going to miss out. This is going to be once in a lifetime opportunity. I agree. Definitely some big buying opportunities coming up. Jeff Powell saying, Bitcoin acts like she's fighting for dear life just to stay up where she's at now. If she'll get dragged down deep here very soon, can't keep that fight up much longer. Yeah, good point. Good point. I do agree. Market's looking a bit weak. Not a lot of buyers down here, especially after billions of dollars of the major hedge funds who were doing all the buying pretty much, or a lot of the buying over the past year since the peak of the market, have all gotten liquidated now, right? Retail has really left the market since last year in May, especially November. But yeah, a lot of it has been propped up by big institutions, hedge funds, VCs, and now they're all getting liquidated. So not a lot of bidders here, which is why I do expect us to go ahead and go lower. Mr. Sellers Home is with us today, saying everything is mad expensive. Housing is expensive too, renting or buying. I do agree. Tyson Larson, do you see the interest rates dropping late this year? I do think it is possible that rates start to decline towards Q4, in Q4 of this year. But we have to see. We have to be patient, right? Maybe the market will bottom out sometime in August, September, and then we can start talking about lowering rates and such. But yeah, I do think it's possible for rates to start tapering off and getting lowered in Q4 of this year. We got U Cha saying, Oi, what's up? How are you, U Chow? And Mr. Sellers Home saying that Trucker Steve is goated. I agree. Trucker Steve is a legend. Naveen saying, all coins are down 99%. Is it possible for Bitcoin and ETH? It is possible. It is possible, but usually Bitcoin will drop around, 80%. So I don't think it'll go down 99%. that would be the end most likely of Bitcoin, and I don't think that will happen. And Tyson, what do you mean by the indicators lining up? Tyson, I'm talking about what I just explained with crude oil, talking about the VIX, which I talked about yesterday, talking about the dollar going ahead and starting to get weaker, Fed lowering rates. All of these indicators is what I'm referring to when I say that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment of the Crypto Empire Morning Domination live stream and get into some talks about Twitter. And today we're going to be analyzing a thread by Fatman Terra, who has been an investigator in terms of Terraform Labs and the whole entire Luna fiasco collapse. And now he's digging into Su Zhu, who of course is one of the co-founders of Three Arrows Capital, which recently got liquidated for about $16 billion. And let's go ahead and take a look at this thread. We'll go through it and what it does implicate for the cryptocurrency market. So we can go ahead and read that Su Zhu is now back in Singapore working with a law firm specializing in white-collar crime. He really doesn't want to go to prison and creditors are after him. But how did he get to this point? Where did Three Arrows Capital go wrong? And what should you do next? Alright, so Three Arrows Capital had a massive margin long on Bitcoin with a liquidation price of around $24,000. So if the Bitcoin price at $24,000, they would lose all of the margin on their Bitcoin long. They didn't tell anybody this, and because Luna collapsed and all the other market conditions, the Bitcoin price went ahead and tanked and it hit that 24K. So they got margin called. All right, margin call is when you get liquidated and all of your margin is gone from your account. You lose everything you put up for the trade. You never want to get margin called. You never want to get liquidated. It happened to Three Arrows Capital. They lost billions of dollars. So we can see that counterparties tried contacting Three Arrows Capital to ask for collateral, or they wanted some money, but they ghosted everyone. They were forced to liquidate Three Arrows Capital positions, including Bitcoin, to drop further from 24K to 20K. This move kicked off a spiral of cascades and bank runs for several parties. And after the first default, which was that 24K liquidation, losses were exacerbated. Genesis allegedly faced high 9-figure losses. Okay, that's a lot of money there. And will sue BlockFi and BitMEX. BlockFi and BitMEX had some exposure, but not much. Other minority affected parties include Cumberland, Galaxy, and Deribit. So a lot of the VC firms, which is what I was just saying, are all down bad right now, all right? So during the collapse and a desperation bid for liquidity, Three Arrows Capital solicited Bitcoin from whales and trading firms, all right? So they were like, look, give us some money. We need some money. And in order for them to stay afloat and try to make back some losses. So they lied about the fund's assets under management, didn't disclose the degen long trade that got liquidated, and promised an estimate 20% yield on whatever they got. Most funds smelt a rat. All right, so now some more collateral damage. Getting into it. Smaller market makers allegedly used Three Arrows Capital's trading accounts as a prime broker to get fee discounts. Some of these entities, like 8 Blocks Capital, have accused Three Arrows Capital of stealing their funds without permission, amounts as low as $1 million. All right, so they're taking other people's money. Other people wanting to know where the money is, they don't have it. Very, very messy situation here. So in one of the most degen loans of all time, Voyager, right? Voyager Digital, we all know about Voyager, sent a loan of around $700 million to Three Arrows Capital under collateralized, all right? That means Three Arrows Capital barely gave them any money for the $700 million. They used interest payments to provide retail-facing yield through their platform and skimmed a cut for themselves. Upon this revelation, Voyager fell 50%. Why I've been saying you need to get all of your money off of centralized platforms, because they are very high risk right now. They are all underwater, making stupid moves with your money. If you have any money in any centralized platform, Voyager, Coinbase, wherever it is, I recommend you move it into cold storage as soon as possible to avoid loss of funds even further, all right, from something that can be easily avoided. So most of Three Arrows Capital remaining assets are in the form of illiquid equity investments like Deribit and Starkware. Their Layer 1 tokens have crashed heavily, so this is just an estimate. Around $400 million of assets with a debt of $2 billion, a net worth of negative $1.6 billion for Three Arrows Capital right now. That is quite a hole to be in. All right, so there will be lawsuits, there will be liquidations. Creditors will come for everything they possibly can. There's a fair chance 3 Arrows Capital did something illegal, especially in their final days. They will try to stay out of prison and resolve everything cleanly. Most creditors will never be paid because there simply isn't enough money to go around. Around $1.6 billion is gone, money that went to Bitcoin miners who dumped their positions in large funds with open shorts, perhaps even a fund who is extending bailouts right now. In the face of this knowledge, what should you do? All right, so there is one crucial, actionable piece of advice. Pull all of your money out of centralized yield services like BlockFi, Voyager, and Nexo for the time being. It's not worth the risk. Withdraw it all to your ledger. What have I been saying now for weeks? Get all of your money off of these platforms. Celsius. We were able to get all of our money off of Celsius before they stopped withdrawals because we saw the writing on the wall. We called it early. A lot of people had hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in Celsius. They can't get it out right now. We called it early. We saw the writing on the wall, and I've been making it very, very clear. People asking me, should I put my money in Voyager? No, you should not put your money in anywhere that's offering 1%, 2% yield. What is that going to do for you? Oh, I make money on my money. Or you can lose it all. Don't be stupid right now. Stop putting your money in these centralized platforms because you give up ownership of your crypto. That takes away the whole point of crypto. It takes away the entire point of it, all right? So use your brain a little bit here if you still have any money inside of any of these centralized platforms. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this segment up. This sort of contagion can ripple out for weeks, and we still don't know who was affected and what extent. The best part is, when the dust settles, you can always redeposit into your favorite platform without issue. Wait a month or two and see how everything plays out. There's no reason to have any money in these services right now, like I've been saying, because their long-term viability is uncertain and you are gambling on solvency. You will potentially give up 0.5% in yield or less once they reduce rates, but you lower your risk massively, all right? So get all of your coins off of these platforms, just as I've been saying, but another reminder for everybody in the audience who does have a thick skull or is lazy and doesn't want to pull their money off of these platforms. It is not worth the risk. All right, so I thought I would cover that today because it is very important, and we still have a lot of newer people that don't quite understand this. They're used to traditional finance where you put your money in a bank and you earn some interest, so they want to do that with their crypto, but they don't understand the underlying ebbs and flows of what's happening in crypto right now, so they're facing massive risk. Get your money off of these centralized entities, and you will be much better off, all right? See what's happening in the live chat right now. Low2 is waiting for that big short on Bitcoin. Awesome. Naveen saying, what happened with Celsius 3 hours recently? Do you think people will stop lending ETH and eventually decrease demand for ETH, and similarly with other coins? I can't quite say that. I think the dust will settle eventually. But if people want to stop lending their ETH, I mean, that's up to them. I like having my ETH in my own custody, though. Sniff saying, when I first deposited funds into Voyager last year, the CEO, Steve Elrich, halted withdrawals claiming it was for security reasons, but I think he was using funds to buy back VGX token. Interesting. And William saying hello from the Netherlands. What's up, Willem? How are you doing this morning? All right, let's go ahead and move on. So Coinbase is going to get rid of Coinbase Pro now. Coinbase, just like all these other centralized entities, yes, you can use it to buy your crypto, but I recommend if you do have crypto on Coinbase, again, get it off. Why would you want to keep your money on Coinbase, right? Their stock price is down bad. Let's go look at it. Why not? Right, this stock is doing horrible. If we look at a daily chart, it's been on a free fall, cascade down. Let's go to a 3-day. So from its high over here at $429, Coinbase is down 85% to current price to the lows 88%, 89%. All right, so Coinbase, we'll see, right? There's speculation that it could go under, totally go out of business. The stock price could go to zero. Same with Robinhood, right? Robinhood, I mean, like this thing down so bad. If we take this high down to where we're currently at, 86%, right, 88%. Like these look like altcoins, but these are stocks, right? It's supposed to be not as risky as crypto, right? But just as risky, down worse than a lot of altcoins right now. And Robinhood is a complete joke of a company. We know how they like to operate with their shady business practices, and the people that they attract tend to be very retail-minded investors. There was actually a bit of a study where the average account balance on Robinhood was around $240. No big money uses Robinhood, right? Like, this thing is worthless. It's probably going to go to zero. Not financial advice, but if you're looking for a high probability short, you can probably short this to the ground, all right? So Robinhood, Coinbase, I wouldn't trust either of them, all right? Taking a look at this article as well, Coinbase and Robinhood shares drop as Binance US cuts Bitcoin trading fees. I don't think Binance US has anything to do with the drop of Robinhood and Coinbase, but yeah, I mean, these companies in the stock market, mainly Coinbase because it's related to crypto, but they're down bad, and I do expect it to get lower, all right? So keep that in mind. I don't think that the max pain is in just yet. If you look at Bitcoin, let's take a quick look at it, see if we have done anything since the start of the stream. Doesn't look like it. Now testing bottom trendline support. We'll see if we lose it. Again, big support down here at 1950. If that's lost, expect this to come down here to around 19K to 18.6, 18.7 thousand dollars on your Bitcoin. Now moving on with another piece of news, talking about Polygon MATIC. They launched an ID solution, a decentralized ID solution, and the MATIC price did jump today and yesterday as well. Let's take a look at MATIC if it crashed yet. What's it doing? All right, so continuing its descent lower. Anyway, let's take a look at this article. Polygon ID, a Web3 solution to identity verification in collaboration with Bentley Motors, helped drive the MATIC price to an 11-day high. All right, so today they launched the first iteration of Polygon ID, a private and self-sovereign identity solution powered by zero-knowledge cryptography. The current model of identity verification relies on users giving data directly to entities, right? Centralized databases are no bueno, as we know. However, Polygon ID enables users to verify particular aspects of their identity without revealing personal information via zero-knowledge proof technology, all right? Thanks to ZK Snark proof technology. Polygon ID puts users in complete control of their digital identity, allowing them to prove specific aspects of their identity without revealing any personal info. So this is big here. I think decentralized ID is going to be a big trend going forward where users will own their own data. As we know, I mean, talking about stonks going to zero, Facebook, Meta, it's done. Like, they made their whole business off of taking people's data and selling it. With decentralized ID, with this type of cryptocurrency, with this type of cryptography, the individual user, you and I, we will own all of our data. And if somebody like Facebook, now known as Meta, what a joke, somebody like them, they're going to have to buy it from us now. What does that mean? It means their entire business practice is done. What are they going to do? They're going to have to pivot somehow. They want to build a metaverse. Everybody knows what they're up to. They're snakes. Nobody wants to use a snake's metaverse. To me, I think this is done. All right, Meta down currently 58% from its highs. Currently trading at $157 from its $384 high. Could definitely go lower here. But this decentralized identity trend, just getting started. I mean, we look at something like Lit Entry, which I've covered here on the channel before, a Polkadot project. Literally just a decentralized identity protocol. Taking a look at Lit, it's been pumping recently. Currently trading at $1.10. Very surprising to see this thing getting pumped so high. Even in terms of Ethereum as well, it's up even more. What does this mean? It means people are using Ethereum to go ahead and buy their Lit, up 300% in 2 weeks, right? Out of nowhere. In Ethereum terms, that means you put 1 ETH in, you get, 3 out? So, yeah. Decentralized identity protocol is pumping. Taking a look at MATIC once again. Looking to the left, 50 cents is a pretty big level, right? got up to over here 51.9, and now pulling back a bit. Definitely overextended. Most likely was a sell the news event. I didn't take a position on this. I was watching it though. But yeah, I thought I could push up a little bit higher. Didn't. All good. I'll wait for the next opportunity. But decentralized ID, watch out for it. That will be a huge trend going forward. Very interesting stuff. Now, in regards to Bentley, all right, so other developments. On Wednesday, luxury car maker Bentley Motors, we all know Bentley, you should at least, announced an NFT drop on the carbon neutral Polygon network. Another thing Polygon has going for them is their, carbon neutral, uses zero energy, etc. Good for the environment. Polygon, very strong bear market buy. It went, 280x last bull market. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This thing is proven to pump. And MATIC over here, 48. If we get 25-cent MATIC, sub 30-cent MATIC, look to buy some big bags of it. Even lower than that, I would say buy even more, not financial advice. But MATIC, a great choice in terms of a bear market bag to build up. All right, so the collection consists of 208 NFTs featuring artwork from Bentley Design, offering the holder unique access and exclusive rewards. The automaker said this marks their first step into the Web3 space, and other ventures including NFCs, non-fungible chips, online gaming, metaverse applications, and blockchain technology will follow. Commenting on the collaboration, Polygon CEO Ryan Watt said Polygon is well placed to help Bentley secure its Web3 future while helping the brand achieve its carbon neutral goals. All right, Polygon MATIC. If you don't know about it, I've made quite a few videos about it in the past on my channel if you go back to last year. Honestly, Polygon was my best ever crypto play. Right, I bought it at 1 cent in November of 2020. It ended up going to $2 and around 92 cents. That's a 292x right there. So I am definitely looking to ride the Polygon MATIC wave up once again when the market does flip bullish. We do have some time. This pump up most likely just to sell the news event. And we'll see if we do end up crashing lower back to around the 40-cent area. But good news over here. Decentralized ID, putting Facebook out of business. All right, we love to see stuff like that. Let's go ahead and catch up with the live chat. Jeff Powell saying, love your shows. Like hearing what you have to say every time. This is such an exciting time now. Not every day we get this sort of opportunity. Shout out to Jeff Powell. Glad that you like the content that I do produce over here at Crypto Empire. Thank you for your support. And yes, we are in a very interesting time in history right now. We are in a transition period. All right, these transition periods make things unclear, make things chaotic. But as we know in the art of war, chaos breeds times of very high opportunity. All right, so very, very opportunistic times right now. If you play your cards right, you can easily set yourself up for the future. And yeah, I do agree with you, Jeff. Good to see you here in the live chat. Tyson Larson saying, I feel if Coinbase went under, it would be very bad for the crypto market. Not really. Short term maybe, but I mean, listen, with the amount of centralized exchanges nowadays, Coinbase can easily be replaced. The only thing Coinbase has going for it is the fact that it's so common to retail. There's so many better exchanges out there where we don't need Coinbase. It's just used mainly by retail investors that don't know of any other options. But yeah, I mean, things like Gemini will probably stand, right, with the Winklevoss twins. But Coinbase, who cares if they go under, honestly? There's too many other options to worry about that. We got GHX7 saying, hopped on the MATIC short mentioned in the Discord. Absolutely worth signing up. Shout out to GHX7. Yes, we were talking about the MATIC short for a while in terms of the Discord general chat. A lot of members did end up taking that short. We had our guy Crypto IDEC laid out for everybody, one of our moderators in the Discord. Big shout out to Crypto IDEC. If you're watching this right now, they're putting the game plan in place for that MATIC short. So yeah, shout out to GHX7 as well. And good to hear that you are enjoying the Discord and anybody watching right now. I do agree. I think that it's absolutely worth signing up. It is my group, of course, so I take it very seriously, and I do agree with you, GHX7. But good to see you here in the live chat. We got Red Start saying, hi from Milan. What's going on, Red Start? How are you? Ninja Sight saying, if commodities go on a bull run, what do you think about trading them again? I I mean, it's not that hard. All I would have to do is open up an account with a brokerage, something like TradeStation, what I used to use years ago, and can start trading commodities again. But I think honestly, oil, like I was talking about earlier, could be pretty close to the top here, right? We're at a major trend line here. If we lose this can go on a run down. And like I was talking about earlier in the stream, we need energy prices to come down, which is what happened in the '08 recession, and that would help mark a bottom. We want to see oil crash around 70-80% again. Would I consider trading them again in the future? I mean, sure, why not? But right now I'm pretty content with the crypto market. Red Start saying, any thoughts on Quant? Naveen, which ZKP projects are you bullish on? MATIC I do like. ZK Sync I like. Those are good, top two. Now, thoughts on Quant. So, Quant, when you understand what it is, it's kind of hard to not be bullish on it short term. Because we understand that crypto is pumps off of retail greed. Right? When retail enters into the market, that's when we see the blow off parabolic pumps in altcoins, in Bitcoin. We need retail money to FOMO in. So Quant is basically it's a blockchain operating system, but they have a lot to do with central bank digital currencies. Okay? We know central bank digital currencies are on the agenda to be released soon, most likely in 2023, probably, right? Next year, we're going to see a lot of talks about these, right? And all this means is that you're not going to have a bank account with your local town bank anymore, Bank of America, TD Bank, Chase, whatever. All of these will become obsolete because you'll have an account directly with the central bank, and that is what a CBDC is. Quant wants to be, the operating system that these CBDCs operate on. All right, so if this thesis does play out, even if it doesn't play out in the long term, even if the CBDCs end up failing, I do think when all the news about these CBDCs getting released occurs, Quant is going to pump. All right, so in terms of a trade to make money, not a long-term investment that you want to hold for 10 years, it could end up being an amazing long-term investment that you want to hold for 10 years. But just as a shorter term opportunity, some kind of cryptocurrency that you want to buy, hold, wait for it to pump, and then sell it, I think Quant can provide a very good ROI for that specific reason. As you all should know, I am a proponent of freedom and self-sovereignty, and Quant, XRP, all the other banker coins are the opposite of that. So in terms of fundamentals, I don't align with it, but I'm in this game to make money, and I understand that. So in terms of a short-term trade, 1 to 2 years, I think Quant can be a major, major play for the next bull run. All right, that's my thoughts about Quant. Same thing goes with XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algo. All these other banker coins could be very similar because they're not going to have to worry about regulations, right? Because they're in with the regulators. Yeah, but that's Quant. My thoughts about Quant. Emlyn, what's the plan on MATIC again? Do we hold until bullish reversal? What's the plan on MATIC? Well, if you were looking to short, I would say you're late now. But if you're already in from 50 cents, your first area of support will come into play at 45.4 cents. And then lower than that, it's going to be down here around 40 cents. All right, so you can look to take profits at these levels if you're already short on MATIC. Tyson Larson, where did you learn to trade? What is your trading style? So Tyson, I learned to trade 5 years ago. I did pay a company at that time to teach me, right? So I went into a classroom. They had like 20 monitors set up. They fly instructors out from all over the world. And I learned supply and demand trading there mainly, as well as how to use the fib, etc. And then I developed my own style throughout the years now. Right? It's been 5 years since I learned. So my style of trading, very simple, nothing complicated. I look to go long or short of support and resistance levels, supply and demand levels, when they line up with other indicators, whether that be divergence like we see here on MATIC, Right, I pointed out divergence many times successfully in the past with a big chain link short from a few weeks ago, Solana as well, right? So when we are in an area of resistance and we see some type of bearish divergence, that's a good indication to go short. Also, if we're dropping, if we're crashing hard, and we are in a demand zone with a fib level, I'll look to go long, right? These basic edges at play, really. I don't tend to use moving averages too much. I mainly stick with support, resistance, supply, demand, and using a few other indicators such as divergence, Fibonacci, etc. to take my entries. But yeah, that's my style. That's how I go about doing things here in the crypto market. Jeff Powell saying, engine still good. Haven't heard anyone mention it all since all-time highs, since all of this, but always been a favorite of mine. Engine is still good. Engine is definitely still good, I would say. It's probably going to pump hard again. Taking a look at down 90% from its highs at $4.82. Currently trading at 49 cents. Engine is still good. I think that they are kind of centralized in a way, but that's good in terms of what they're doing. But yeah, Engine's still good as a coin. I still like it. I still think it will do well in the future. No problem, Emlyn. Naveen, please share something about soulbound NFTs. Naveen, I have never heard of soulbound NFTs, so I simply cannot share anything about that. If I heard something about the project before, I would be happy to share. But I've never heard about soulbound NFTs before, so I cannot speak on that topic. All right, it's time to go ahead and open up the floor now. Shout out to VA Studio Systems as well for giving some clapping emojis in the live chat. I see you, VA Studio System. But let's open up the floor now to our live audience. If you have any questions, any altcoins you want me to look at in particular, now is the time for us to go ahead and do so. I do want to take a look at some alts that we have been charting over the past week and see what's going on with these alts. Firstly, let's go ahead and take a look at Chainlink. All right, here we have Chainlink buzzing around, going sideways, no direction right now, right? I did long Chainlink over here on the 20th, caught this pump up, took profit at 745, all right, so that was a successful long right there. Haven't touched Link since. As you can see, we retraced the whole length of the pump, and we have been using the $6.80 level as a magnet for price, all right? We've been chopping around, going sideways, and we're looking to see which direction this does want to go. Now, up here, right, from 680 up to 7, right, major support resistance flip level, right, major level for price. So it really can go either way here. We're going to see if the market does want to start trending. If we do end up making a higher high past 750, obviously higher highs, higher lows, what is that? That's an uptrend. All right, if you don't know how to do that, you can go ahead and see when you make a, let's actually start from over here. So if we started from over here at the 13th of June crash, that's our low. We go ahead, we make a higher high past over here at around 712. We pull back, make a higher low, right? We didn't breach these lows over here. Now we pull up again, we make a slightly higher high. Really, it's an even high. But now we pull back and we make a higher low again. All right, so now we're waiting to see, will we make a higher high or will we go back and test the lows again and form a bit of a trading range? This is what we're looking out for right now on something like Chainlink, as well as a lot of other altcoins, right? We can draw a parallel channel and we can see that we are in one gigantic parallel channel here if we don't actually break out to the upside. Now, if we do stay in this range-bound environment, a very high probability short would be to look to go short up here at $7.50 because there's a decent chance we do end up staying in this range. Right, so if we get a push up higher here, we look to short right at the highs, stop just above, so it's a very small risk, and we look for a move back down to the bottom of the channel. That's just range trading right there, very simple to do. And if you have a plan in place before it happens, that's what's going to allow you to be successful doing so. But this is Link right now, sitting at the 680 level, 675, major level over here, and we're just waiting to see what the market does actually want to do. A lot does rely on Bitcoin right now because, like I've been saying, Bitcoin has been doing nothing but going sideways in a 2,000-point spread since Monday. All right, back down here at support as well. We'll see if we get a breakdown, and that would most likely mean that Link, as well as a lot of other altcoins, go for a move lower as well. So that's Link. VA Studio Systems saying great video. Shout out to you, VA Studio Systems. Appreciate your support. Shout out to Dre as well. Let's get some hype in the chat for Dre for being the legend that he is. Everybody get some hype in the chat. I need some flame emojis and at Dre as well. Emlyn saying, is there a good position on waves? Let's check out waves. Don't usually trade waves. Don't usually look at it. Not even on my watch list, but let's do some TA on it. So waves had a nice pump up here to 720, 725. Previous resistance, as we can see over here, okay? And this thing looks pretty volatile. Came back down here to demand, right? This is how supply and demand works, right? This is a demand zone. If we go to the daily, it's going to be even more evident. You just want to trade the extremes, right? This is an extreme drop. Price pumps, comes back and makes a double bottom, right? This is when you want to get long in demand down here. Now it went ahead and pumps up, back up to 725. And if we take a measure and move, we can take a look and see if that does line up with our fib. And 38.2, pretty clean right there, as we can see, right to the 38.2. Now in terms of a play here, again, you're kind of in no man's land, right? You have your high over here, and you got your low over here. And right now you're in the middle. I don't like trading mid-range, right? I like to trade the extremes, like I just said. I like to get long down here and something in demand, and short at the top in supply. But here in no man's land, in the middle of the range, I don't usually like to make my plays from there, unless I see some kind of continuation pattern forming and I have a bias of which direction it will actually trade in. Awesome, we got some hype in the chat over here. Let's get some more flame emojis in here. And yeah, like I've been saying, unless I see some type of continuation start to form, which we do have a bit of a pennant starting to form over here, right? So we're going to see, we're going to get a breakout because price is now coiling up. Now, if we go to the daily on waves, right, in terms of waves fundamentals, I believe they did launch a stable coin over here, pumped up to 63, and it crashed down to 4. All right, so this thing, kind of similar to Luna, and it hasn't been this low since January of 2021, so yeah, I would not be looking for any type of longer term plays on this long. I would most likely be looking for shorts. Right, so if we pump back up to around $8-9, that's where I would look for some kind of short on waves. But here we are forming a bit of a pennant. All right, so if you want to take a break of this pennant, you simply could do so by, if you want to go long, now's a good time to enter because you would put your stop just below these lows over here. We have a rally, right? This is a demand zone, rally, base rally. So you mark that. So you would basically look to enter right at your entry at demand, stop just below. And if it does end up breaking out long, you go up to your target. You could take a flag pull for this. And if we move that flagpole, if I can grab it with my mouse, move that, and it would take us somewhere around $8.59, which is up towards that supply level like I just spoke about. That's your long on waves. If it does continue up higher, right? This could be a continuation pattern starting to form here in the mid-range. So yeah, that's your play on waves, and you're invalidated beneath this demand zone down here. Lots of hype in the chat. Love to see it. Smash up that like button as well if you haven't smashed up the like button. I can see we have 48 viewers and only 33 likes. So let's get that up to par. Smash up that like button. Can you take a look at DAP Radar? I suppose I could. Not even sure, honestly, what DAP Radar is. Is it a website? The world's largest DApp store. That's a coin. Okay. So the reason I never heard of it is because it has a market cap of $2.7 million, ranked 1,364. So this is what you would classify as a micro cap cryptocurrency. And if we look where it's traded, it is on some big exchanges. Interesting. Take a look at the radar chart on Huobi. Let's go to a daily. Go to a weekly. See what's going on with this thing. All right, so it launched at 1 cent, pumped up to 6 cents. Now trading for 0.004. So with something like this, in terms of TA, it looks like it's going to keep on dropping down. It's not just going to start, I mean, it could if somebody just pumps millions of dollars into it, because that's how microcaps work. They're very easy to move, right? If you want to put, $3 million, you can double the price of this thing in a second. But for something like this, you want to see it start to bottom out and form an accumulation at the bottom. You don't want to try to catch a falling knife by going long or buying after every dip. You want to see an accumulation start to form. It's going to look like a nice bottom, like kind of like a lake on the chart, right? Or a nice rounding kind of type of accumulation, long bottom here. I would not try to catch a falling knife on something like this, especially being we're still in this bear market, all right? So, look for some type of accumulation pattern start to form, at least on the daily. If you look how this thing's been trading, it's been going sideways and then just falling off of a cliff. This could, if we want to see this extend longer, this accumulation, this isn't enough to start buying it yet, in my opinion. Could be wrong, not financial advice, but yeah, I would wait for longer to buy DApp Radar. Jeff Powell saying, Cody's supposed to be as good as they say for Cardano. Yes, Coti is a payment processor system. Big on Cardano. Cody got a ton of hype last bull run. Had a very good play, right? Very good return. If we look at this thing from November 2020, even January 2021, dollar price was 5 cents and it peaked out at 66 cents, right? So that's pretty decent right there. About a 13x in terms of your dollar price. But yes, Coti, the first enterprise-grade digital fintech platform which eliminates all intermediaries and empowers any organization to build their own private payment solution and digitize any currency using proprietary trust chain protocol. Provides functionality as robust as PayPal and Alipay while allowing enterprises to create their own unique rules and finally own their payment system to save time, data, and money. All right, so I like that a lot. PayPal, a centralized entity, they kill you with fees. Right, I do run my business through PayPal and you get killed with fees, but it's just part of the game. It is what it is. So something like Coti is definitely needed out here, and I do think it has a bright future ahead of it. A lot of integrations with Cardano as well. So yeah, good altcoin, probably going to do very well next bull run as well. Emlyn, no problem for the analysis. By the way, 47 viewers, only 36 likes. Get some hype, smash up that like button. If you're new here, welcome to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and of course, turn on all the notifications so you miss no future videos. But yeah, go ahead, smash up that like button right now. Let's get some hype in the chat. Come on now. It's weak sauce out here right now. Rigoberto joining us this morning saying, good morning, everybody. What's up, Rigoberto? It's good to see you here today, as usual. Andres, Waves in the DOT ecosystem? I don't believe it is. Do not believe that Waves is in the Polkadot ecosystem. But let's go ahead and confirm that right now. No, it's not. Confirm my suspicion there. Ian M, what's up, Ian? If there's a gas tax holiday and crude crashes, that is basically stimulus. Yeah. Sniff asking about his low caps. So Sniff, we took a look at those the other day, and it's the same thing as Radar. You want to see it bottom out and accumulate, but I've never heard of those projects before you, so I can't really speak about them. Jetty Warlock asking about MATIC. I did bring up MATIC around a week ago here in the morning live stream. So if we look at this, you can see I had this trend line drawn for bullish divergence, and that does look like it was the bottom, all right? So that's another example right there of your divergence. Anyway, looking primed. So yeah, we are coming up to a big level over here at 1840. All right, as you can see, we have been rejected on it many times. And what are we doing as well? Well, we have some ascending accumulation where price is consistently making higher lows leading up to this horizontal resistance, forming what is called an ascending triangle. Or actually, this is a pennant because it's shorter than 3 weeks. But anyway, this is looking primed. Big shout out to Jedi Warlock for bringing this to my attention. Yeah, this is definitely looking primed for a nice breakout here, right? You can see how many times resistance has been tested here, and with the ascending accumulation into your resistance, that is where you do look for a long, all right? So yes, this is actually indeed looking primed. If we get another pullback to this trendline support, really, to be safe, you would put your stop beneath this low over here at 1640 about. 1650, and you can go ahead and ride this. You have a 3-to-1 just this resistance here, but I think you can probably pull something a lot higher than a 3-to-1. If we go up here to this next one, you can pull a 5-to-1. But yes, this looks good. I do agree with you, Jedi Warlock, and I do like the fundamentals as a layer 2 scaling solution of MATIC, right? So good project here. Check the market cap on something like this. Market cap is currently $78 million, okay? So a bit of a low cap, can definitely multiply here. And another thing I like about this is most of the coins are already in circulation. You don't have to worry about pre-sale dumping anymore, early investors getting their tokens unvested and selling on the open market. So that's good. Rigoberto saying, Connor, when the market is in accumulation, how long before we can confirm it? A few weeks of accumulation. Good question, Rigoberto. Yeah, I mean, something like, it depends on everything going on, right? Like, we know we're in a bear market right now. And just for example's sake, let's go look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. So if we look at Bitcoin on the daily, if we look at something like this bear market, like I would consider this nice rounding bottom accumulation. This is from 2018, 2019, right? We're just accumulating, trading in a range at the bottom, right? But this we were consistently, this was what we were looking at MATIC just now, where we're making higher lows. We're making higher lows over here, and we have horizontal resistance, okay? That has been tested multiple times. So this is ascending accumulation. We can have descending accumulation, or we can have sideways accumulation. All of your continuation patterns, whether that's your flags, your pennants, your triangles, descending or ascending, it's all basically just narrow price action taking place. And you identify a breakout point. So for something like this, where it's an ascending triangle, you identify the breakout point as the neckline of your horizontal resistance at the top. But in terms of a time frame, it depends what chart you're looking at, right? Because you can have accumulation on the 5-minute chart, you can have accumulation on the weekly chart or the daily chart, right? Something like on Bitcoin. So it depends on what time frame you are looking at, and of course, as a trader, you need to identify the time frames that you do trade off of. But there's no really one answer to that question, because it does mainly depend on the time frame. But if you're looking on the higher time frames, yeah, I would say a few weeks. If you're looking at the daily chart, I would say a few weeks. You want to see it accumulate. Naveen saying, please suggest some Polkadot/Kusama parachain projects to invest in. I mean, lit entry is great, but it's already up like 35% on the week. We'll see if it crashes again. I like decentralized identity. And Akala, I like. Energy Web Token, I like. Ocean Protocol, I like. Origin Trail Track, I like. That should be more than enough to get you started, right? RMRK, like that as well. Kilt, Decentralized Identity again. Right? There's a lot of great projects on the Polkadot ecosystem that I do like. And what do I hold personally? I hold Akala, I hold Glimmer, I hold, don't hold any Lit currently, but I will look for that. Ocean, EWT, not holding, but two great picks right there. Robert Creed, they did an airdrop, maybe that's why it dumped hard, like Optimism, possibly. KDM saying, thanks for the stream. Any updates on Arbitrum? Arbitrum Odyssey just started. Are you going to do a series of the 8-week challenge? Well, KDM, I did not plan on doing a series on the 8-week challenge. In terms of the airdrop, no news about a snapshot just yet, but I do think they will give it out. We don't know for sure. But with that being said, continue to go ahead and process transactions on the Arbitrum Layer 2 network so that you make sure if there is the airdrop, which there is a high probability of doing so, that you do get it. In terms of a series for the 2-week challenge, I did not plan on it, but I can go ahead and look into that further and maybe possibly do something like that. No promises, though. Rigoberto and Dre getting some hype in the chat. We got Alan. What's up, Alan? How are you? Sniff, from my understanding, Polkadot is a competitor to Cosmos. You are correct about that, Sniff. That Cosmos and Polkadot are basically direct competition with one another. And yeah, with that being said, guys, it is time to go ahead and wrap up this edition of Crypto Empire Morning Domination, episode number 11. We covered a lot in this live stream. I hope that you did enjoy the stream and get a ton of value from it. I do think that we covered a lot of awesome stuff today. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash up that like button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And of course, turn on all bell notifications. With that being said, it is time to wrap up the live stream. I'll see you all again very soon tomorrow for another edition of Crypto Empire Morning Domination. I am your host, Connor from Crypto Empire. This is where we dominate the crypto market. See you all very soon. Have an